One Punch Man Season 3. Yep, it has been quite a shit show. And just from the first episode, because over the past few days, it has been non stop. Like every single platform that you go on is just like, oh, One Punch Man is done. One Punch Man, I don't know, is disappointing everyone. I don't know, like, they ruined this One Punch Man Season 3 scene so bad. One Punch Man Season 3 is the worst anime of 2025 and belongs in a dumpster. Everyone dislikes One Punch Man now. And I would say, like, most of these make sense. Like, dude, what the hell is this? One Punch Man 2026 new trailer, Jason Statham, Tom Holland. What the hell? Dude, I have to watch that later. That is so peak. But either way, like every single video that's coming out from One Punch Man, like most of the videos, is just like, this was the worst experience of my life. And I would say that it's understandable. If you have seen the first episode, you know that it's quite bad. Yeah. Literally 80% of the episode was just a still image and a mouth just talking. Just that. And mind you, I say 80%. 10% was the opening, which I would say is like, it was good. It had some decent animation, I'm not gonna lie, but I would say it was a good opening. Like, compared to what the episode was, it was actually pretty good. But opening aside, the other 10% was Fubuki. And I would say they animated Fubuki at least decent. At least, thank God, at least Fubuki is getting somewhat of a treatment. But as I said, the 80% was just monologue. And listen, there is no problem with just talking and just giving exposition and like hyping up the things that's going to happen. But dear Lord, every single character was just like, they had like a still image and just the mouth moving, nothing else. Listen, the thing that I can't wrap my head around is that, dude, this is freaking One Punch Man. Like, it's not a random manga which nobody knows about or has no readers, and you would say, okay, they didn't put that much effort into it. Like, this is one of the most popular manga in the modern times. Like, how would they just look at the manga like we know what One Punch Man looks like? Okay, like, who would look at this, or for example, this, or just listen, if I want to just count the amazing, just, oh, this is so freaking good. If I want to count how many just legendary panels One Punch Man has, this video will go on forever. But who would just look at this and just think to themselves, oh, let's just give it a simple animation of just still images and just a moving mouth? I don't understand that. How? And I just want to give you a perspective. You could say, okay, by all means, they didn't understand how popular One Punch Man was. Like, the trailer that they put out for season 3, this trailer, this trailer was just simple, just nitbit, and just some random scenes from the episode 1. And it has 2.3 million views in 4 days. How does that work in just 4 days? And it was an awful trailer. Like, people are obviously hyped for One Punch Man. They just see that this thing is extremely popular. And what makes it worse is that JC staff, listen, JC staff are the same people that made My Dress Up Darling, okay? Like, just 5 seconds of Marin Kitagawa talking has more frames than this first episode. Like, they can actually make good animation. I don't know, like you could say they have a problem with fight scenes or stuff like that. But even then, why do you accept such a title when you cannot animate it properly? Listen, I just hope that this was just the case for the first episode. I mean, it is possible that they're just making the simple dialogue moments normal so that when the action comes, it actually hits you more. This technique actually was really commonly used like in the early days of like 2000, with Naruto, Bleach, and many other animes. But dude, it's 2025. Like, how would they just look at their competition nowadays, like Jujutsu Kaisen, Chainsaw Man, Demon Slayer, and just think to themselves, yeah, this animation will suffice. Yeah. And for One Punch Man, which is on the same level of popularity as the same shows that I mentioned, if I'm not mistaken, I actually did see a tweet about the director of this season that he has never worked on an action anime ever. Like, the only thing that he has worked on are romance anime. If you just put two single brain cells together, you would understand that this does not work. And by all means, I want to be so freaking wrong. I want to be so freaking wrong, as like I think Chibi said in his videos that listen, I want to be wrong about this. I want the rest of the show to be absolutely amazing looking. Like I would love for people to actually comment my video and just say you were wrong about this. This actually turned out to be pretty darn good. I would love that. But as it stands, this is not looking good. The only thing that I can be hopeful of is that maybe we'll get the same level of quality as the opening in like the important fights, but I don't think they will actually animate like Saitama versus Garo because I don't think they're gonna reach that point. They might actually reach behind it and just say, okay, cut off. The rest of it is in season 4. But I mean, that could be good. That could be actually a good thing. Like, okay, season thing was just like this, even though. Listen, if you have read the manga, you know what is to come, what fights are going to come. Like, it is so freaking hype, even if we don't count Saitama versus Garo. There are a lot of hype moments in this season, but there is a possibility that, okay, the season 3 is going to be with okay animation and will give Saitama and Garo like the special treatment, but I doubt that as well because, dude, like, I want this to be good so freaking bad, but it's just from everything that we're seeing is just it's not going to happen. At least Fubuki is getting a special treatment, which by all means I'm all for it. Even if you don't get the most hyped fight of the recent years, we'll at least get Fubuki in all her glory. And mind you, there is actually another special lady that's going to come in the future episodes, and by all means, if they give the same treatment that they're giving Fubuki to her, I would say One Punch Man Season 3 is the best season of any anime that has ever been made. Listen, Fubuki and her are just, you know if you know. I try to think of it this way. If I want to give myself a positive mindset, I would say the main adaptation of One Punch Man is actually the manga. I would just think of it this way that the thing that was written and just drawn by one himself is getting actually adapted by Yusuke Murata. So I would say the manga is actually the main adaptation. So if we don't get an amazing adaptation of season 3, we'll at least know that it was amazing regardless. Because if you have read One Punch Man, you just know that how amazing like this art of Yusuke Murata is just on a whole other level. So much so that I would rather not have an anime adaptation if it's going to look like this first episode. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. But you know what the sad thing is? Because we did see what One Punch Man could be in the first season, that burns so freaking much. It makes this whole situation so much worse because we did actually get a glimpse of what One Punch Man could be. And mind you, season one wasn't like the most hyped moment of the manga, or just like, oh my god, this is the craziest moment of. I mean, the Saitama versus like the one-eyed alien was pretty hype. I'm not gonna lie, man. We genuinely could have had a season that was on the same level as Shibuya Incident, or let's just say Marineford, or like this last arc of My Hero Academia, which is actually pretty darn good. I'm not gonna lie. But I guess there isn't much that we can do. Oh, so let's just pray. Yep, that's about it. Bye.